Trust. It sounds simple, a small word, only 5 letters, yet entire relationships rise and fall because of it. Entire lives are shaped by it. Entire hearts are protected or imprisoned by it. The traveler believed trust was a math problem. He assumed the internal scale had to balance perfectly, equating trust with absolute certainty. This required proof that a person would never leave, never change, and never cause him pain. Defining trust as the total absence of risk turns a strategy for safety into a psychological prison. When you require a guarantee before you act, you lose the ability to move at all. The external world offers no such guarantees. Relationships, opportunities, and even the events of tomorrow remain outside our control. There is no amount of research or reassurance that can eliminate the possibility of change. If trust depends on acquiring certainty, trust will never happen. Absolute certainty is a worldly impossibility, which makes the traveler's equation a mathematical dead end. This realization often leads to paralysis. We spend our days waiting for doubt to disappear, only to find that every answer uncovers a new question, and every reassurance reveals a new risk. Seeking external proof of future safety is a trap. It ensures that a person spends their entire life waiting for a permission slip from the future that never arrives. One afternoon, the traveler sat beneath a tree and stopped searching for answers. He watched the sky, observing how nature moves through the unknown without hesitation. Birds crossed the horizon, navigating wind currents they couldn't possibly predict. They flew into the turbulence without knowing exactly where the air would carry them. Their momentum doesn't come from controlling the wind, it comes from trusting their wings. This observation shifts the focus of trust from the future back to the self. Instead of trying to point our confidence outward at things we cannot govern, we point it inward toward our own capacity. Real trust is confidence in your ability to handle what happens. It relies on the internal anchor rather than the external forecast. The traveler began auditing his own history. He looked back at the heartbreaks, the disappointments, and the losses, the specific chapters he once thought would destroy him. Every crisis occupies a point on this graph. While the line plunges into deep valleys of pain, the data shows a consistent recovery. He has survived every single worst-case scenario the past has thrown at him. These recoveries weren't always clean or painless, but they happened. He rebuilt himself after every collapse, proving that his capacity to survive is a historical fact. This shifts the central question of a life. We can stop asking how to prevent pain and start asking if we can trust ourselves when pain arrives. The evidence of your own resilience is the only proof you need. Your past survival is the justification for your future trust. When you trust your ability to handle a crisis, the need to control others evaporates. We exhaust ourselves trying to carry the weight of other people's choices and feelings as a way to ensure our own safety. There is a visceral relief in putting that weight down. Recognizing that other people's futures were never yours to manage allows you to unburden your mind. Trusting someone else means allowing them the freedom to choose, even if they choose poorly. It means moving from a demand for perfection to an acceptance of reality. This path feels vulnerable because it requires letting go of the illusion of control. You aren't abandoning wisdom or self-respect. You are simply stopping the attempt to hold things that were never yours to hold. Self-trust is the promise that you will not abandon yourself when you struggle. It is the commitment to remain connected to your own capability regardless of the outcome. The traveler stood up and continued walking. The road ahead was still uncertain and nothing had become predictable, yet he no longer needed a guarantee before taking the next step. Certainty is not the prerequisite for trust. Trust is what allows us to move forward without it. We don't need to know how the chapter ends to begin living it. We find stability by forging a connection to our own ability to survive the storm. When you trust yourself, you remain anchored, no matter how the wind changes.